set, and here comes the 2-2 pitch to Edgar Martinez. Down, a fastball swung on, lifted deep center field. Bernie Williams goes back, and it is get out the rye bread and the mustard this time, Grandma. It is a grand salami, and the Mariners lead it 10-6.
And welcome to the Unnamed Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin, with my two mostly beautiful and partly ugly co-hosts.
I'll take the ugly part.
I was going to take that. You're too kind.
Okay, there's no need to fight over it. You're both a little bit of both. I'm just kidding. I got Alex here, and I got Jack to my other side, and in my phone, I actually have you as Jack Brad Jr., Jackie Bradley Jr. But I cut a bunch off.
JBJ.
Yeah.
It's going to be sad when he leaves.
I won't care, but whatever. It's going to be sad when Mookie Betts leaves.
Shut your mouth.
Oops. Oopsies. All right, so we're here to talk free agency because there's nothing else to talk about. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, what has been your favorite or biggest move this offseason? Whether it's a player joining a team to make them better or, like Mookie Betts leaving the Red Sox hopefully soon. Like, that's going to be my favorite when it happens. It could be a trade. It could be free agency.
I will tell you my favorite right now is the Garrett
Cole straight to the Yankees and straight to the World Series. Thank you.
So I'm not going to disagree. It's a great signing for them for the first 3 to 4 years, but it's going to absolutely hinder their budget after 4 years.
Yankees don't have a budget, and that's been proven.
Oh, every team has a budget. No team wants to stay over the luxury tax threshold for more than a couple of years.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but and it's hard because I totally agree with you because that's a super long contract and the money is huge.
Long contract for a guy that's already 29.
And Torres is going to have to be signed to big money if they want to keep him.
Judge,
Domingo Germán, if he sticks around.
Yeah.
Severino.
Severino's in line to get paid.
Where's all this money coming from? And I'm not saying they wouldn't cut bait with Stanton at some point, but then who's going to take him at that huge contract?
They would have to eat so much of his salary.
It wouldn't even be worth it.
No, it wouldn't be worth it.
They're also in line to get Josh Hader too.
They are after Hader.
Yeah. Which is just unbelievable if you ask me. You already have Chapman, Betances.
Betances is probably not being re-signed, though.
Zach Britton's in there.
Zach Britton. But even still, with Chapman, Ottavino, Britton, that's still
it's a huge bullpen. It's a World Series caliber team, and there's no denying that. If Germán gets back and you got Cole into Sev into Germán, that's the game. Like that's any playoffs ever. That's it. You don't need anybody else. You don't need Paxton.
And Paxton. I mean, they're not going to be like those. Well, Paxton's a workhorse.
Think about it though. You're moving Paxton, a workhorse, into your bullpen for the postseason. Can that get any better? Tanaka
I would move Tanaka to the bullpen.
He's gonna. I mean, usually people only run about 3. They're not gonna have to have that stupid bullpen mumbo jumbo. One start is gonna be all bullpen start. That's not gonna have to exist. They have so many weapons. Who's beating that team? Who's got better pitching?
So the other thing I want to point out for that is everyone said that last year about the Astros as well. Who's going to beat that rotation? And for the most part, it went unanswered.
And then they got Greinke, and then everybody was like, well, holy shit, how are we going to beat this rotation now?
Exactly.
But come playoff time, everything is level.
I mean,
it's an even playing field.
I guess it's really true because I think my first rebuttal to the Astros was always, well, what about the bullpen? And the bullpen didn't show up like it should have. But on paper, Presley and Ozuna should win you every game.
Yeah.
And that's on paper. But you're totally right. But as we sit here looking from the outside in, it's Yankees all the way. I mean, it's just, there's going to be other teams. The Braves could make waves still. The Nationals are still going to be good, even if they don't replace Rendon at third. I mean, if Soto gets any better, I mean, he could just blow the roof off the whole damn league. Like, that team is stacked, and they have people behind. They have a good...
Wait, we still talking about the Braves right now?
No, I'm talking about the Nationals. Soto. I'm talking about Freddie Freeman. Just kidding. That's the Braves. You got me all messed up here. But Washington's going to compete next year. They got Strasburg back. They have a great starting rotation. But let's forget
they lost Rendon. That's your biggest hitter.
Arguably your biggest hitter.
Arguably.
Next year, I think Soto's sky's the limit. I think that's obvious for anyone with a pulse and a brain. He's so young, and he's only going to keep getting better, hopefully. I mean, but from the guys coming up recently, and once this is kind of off free agent topic, but from the Acuna, Vlad, Soto kind of reign, we haven't seen anybody taper off. We haven't been like, oh, this guy is going to be super good, and then he kind of just, I guess Vlad kind of. But we'll really see what he's made of next year. Same with Tatis. And I think Tatis is the real deal. And, I mean, we haven't seen anybody, like, kind of level out. So we just expect Soto to do what Acuna did and just go even further, even better.
I don't think that he'll be better than Acuna. I think he's a better hitter, but all
Not
around
in the field.
Yeah, Acuna Acuna is just so good all around. He has the speed. He has the arm.
I was hoping he'd get the steals.
Yeah.
He has a plus glove.
But Soto's a better hitter.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're pretty even. What I say is a better hitter, it's marginal.
Yeah, I would agree.
I
would agree they're very similar caliber players, and just one has the slight advantage in offense, one has the slight advantage in defense.
I know you're a really big Tatis fan. Do you think Tatis eclipses both of them?
Yes.
Or really? In power, too?
I think in all around, I think Tatis will eclipse Acuna.
Man, that's a big statement.
I think Acuna is better than Soto.
I like them both, really equally.
I love all the young talent.
I'm a big fan. Well, that's what's getting baseball so exciting for me, is that it's fun again. We're not waiting until these guys are 25 to see them for the first time. Teams are bringing them up, and they're 18, 19 years old, and they say, here you go, fail or succeed. And we get to see amazing things like Astros Aquino hitting all those home runs in that short amount of time. Like, he's going to be fun to watch next year.
Plus the best batting stance in the MLB.
Number one.
That batting stance is
one.
absolutely wonky, but I love it.
But let's get back to free agency. What was your, and trades, winter meetings, whatever you want to call it, what was your favorite move so far?
I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite. I do know that something that I find to be very interesting was the recent Kluber move to the Rangers.
I'm really glad you brought that up so early, because I am so puzzled by this. Why are the Indians selling? I know they want a cap cut, but from all accounts, they're trying to get rid of Lindor too. Why? They could still compete. They barely missed the playoffs this year. If they would have had a little bit of luck, and they got rid of Bauer, and because he's a whiny baby, I don't know why they got rid of him either. Because honestly, if you said, give me 5, like from 1 to 5 best starters, not 1 to 3, Indians are right there.
Yeah.
With Clev and Kluber, Carrasco, once he got back, he was, but
Shane Bieber.
And Bieber. There's so much talent there. How do you not go out every single night and have a chance to win with one of those guys on the mound? And it's not like they're any slouches. Every time we play the Indians, I feel like Lindor has this magic in him that he just gets it done.
Mr. Smiles, man.
I would be
Mr. Smiles.
so if I was a GM on any team, I don't care, unless it was maybe the Padres with Tatis, or maybe the Yankees. But your shortstop is not as good as Lindor for most teams.
Did you hear about?
I'd be getting that guy.
The Padres have been in on trade talks with Lindor.
Why? What? I mean, I guess you could move Tatis to second, take some pressure.
They're talking about moving Tatis to center field. They have.
I have not heard this.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. That would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be.
He's
dangerous.
he's so athletic. He could probably play anywhere they wanted to play, and they already have such a hole in center field with Margot just not showing up to what he should have been.
Let's go to the Padres. Forget that. I really want to talk Texans.
Okay.
What are they doing? Like, what? They're trying to compete. I get that. But you sent out Mazzara to the White Sox, which I love what the White Sox are doing. I'm very scared of them. I'm a big fan. I love Giolito. I think they need more pitching help.
Well, they have a lot of young pitching coming up.
They have a lot of young everything. But the guy they traded was one of their big-time names, and I like Mazzara because...
Who was it that they traded for Mazzara?
I want to say his name was like something with a C. Chase or Clace?
Khaleesi?
I think so. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
pronounce it. Let me look it up. But what are the Rangers doing? They signed Kyle Gibson. They got really lucky with Lance Lynn.
Jordan Lyles.
They're not going to make that happen with Kyle Gibson. And if they do,
Mike Minor.
I'm going to
talk about a geriatric pitching rotation.
It's just not enough. And then you get rid of Mazzaro, who, if he's middle of the road.
Plus side power.
But the power and the ability, when the game's on the line, I feel like he makes things happen. He's like Lindor in that case. When I watch him play, and he just steps up. You know what I mean? You got the guys who, every time they come up in a big scenario, you're just like, here comes a strikeout. You know, they don't got it in them. Lindor.
Miguel Sano.
And that was the first name that came to my mind was Miguel Sano. But, I mean, what Corey Kluber isn't going to make the Rangers compete, in my opinion. They don't have the power. They don't have
They're
the
already
bats.
in such a tough division with the Astros obviously leading the way, and then you have the Angels who just signed Rendon. You have the A's who always, year in, year out, they always find a way.
Show up with nothing and get the best out of it.
Yeah. Billy Beane has turned that club into, like,
I'm a bean lever.
Bean lever.
If that was the thing, that's what I am.
Oh, no.
I really want him to come to Boston this year for the GM
Good
spot.
old Billy.
Yeah.
Maybe it was an outfield. It says they got outfielder, but I thought somebody got a good pitching prospect. I might be wrong. Might not have been the White Sox, but who cares? I don't know what they're doing with their rotation is geriatric. The Rangers,
32.
it's average at best. And not to say that Kluber can't come back, but I remember when he first came back this year and everybody's getting all excited. Oh, here come the Indians, on the Twins' tail. And then he pulled his oblique. And it's like, are the wheels falling off for this guy? Is he going to have more in him? Verlander makes me believe in miracles, maybe more than I should, because that's what people are saying about Cole. Is like, well, unless he can play into his late 30s, which most pitchers cannot. I'm like, well, Justin Verlander says otherwise.
Justin Verlander syndrome, where it's like a Benjamin Button effect, but with pitching. If you look through his ERA each time he goes through the rotation, it gets lower the more times he faces batters.
Which is just unbelievable.
It starts at something like this last year, at least in 2019, I believe it started at right around a 2.8 the first time through. Then something around the lines of a 2.2 the second time through, and then a sub-2 the third time through seeing a batter.
Which is just ridiculous, but he comes from a different time. Like, he's older, obviously. There wasn't... Now it's pitch through 2 times around, and we'll go from there. Most likely you're done. That wasn't an option when he was coming up. That wasn't a thing yet. People didn't know that the 3rd time around, or they didn't care. The 3rd time around, pitchers start to get beat up a little bit more. So he had to mitigate his damage. He had to throw so where he could make it to 7. I don't think the guys are doing that anymore. They get through the first 2 and then they're cooked because they're throwing their best stuff early. And they're not planning to pitch 7 because that's just not something you do. And the White Sox traded Steele Walker for Nomar Mazara. So I don't know who that is. And I hope he's good. I hope he's not good because I like the White Sox better than I like the Rangers. But you brought up the point. Now I'm trying to remember. Is that, or maybe both of you did, is that they're in the same division as the Angels, who got Rendon, that shocked me. If you would have gave me a list, I probably would have put them in like the 20s for teams I thought would compete for Rendon. Not to say they didn't need him.
I thought he was going to go to the other LA team. I thought he was going to the Dodgers for sure.
That seemed way more likely to me.
Yeah.
I would have never imagined he would have ended up on the Angels. That wasn't even on my radar. If other people were reporting that, I never seen it. I'm sure it was a thing that was out there in the open, but I didn't really even care because it's like, you need pitching. Like, let's start at square one. Can we get you some pitching help first? And then let's let Mike Trout and the boys being just about nobody, besides an old Albert Pujols and Ohtani.
And old Justin Upton.
And a slightly capable Cole Calhoun.
Calhoun's gone, isn't he? I thought he wasn't with the Angels anymore.
Did he get moved?
I do not know the answer to that.
That's something I
My
should know.
Cole Calhoun knowledge is at an all-time low. But, oh man, I forget he spells his name with a K. So cool. He looks to be an angel. Yep, he's an angel.
He's still an angel. All right.
Making me
But
guess myself.
he is Milwaukee Brewers free agent target. Which, what the heck is that about?
That's called a fire sale.
I was just going to say, why are we having a fire sale when we just made the wild card? Why are some of these teams who are either making the wild card or getting close fire sailing, like the Indians, like the Brewers? They got that great young prospect in Kenston. I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Hura. And he is just absolute.
Keston Hira.
Yeah.
He's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love what he can do.
I love their outfield now with their signing of Avisail Garcia. They have Yelich, Kane, Garcia, and Braun. I think that is a very solid outfield.
Braun's over. That ship has sailed.
I disagree.
I don't know. It obviously remains to be seen in years to come. But this last year, he had a pretty decent year.
He's not going to put up those great numbers.
He's not getting any better.
No, he's not getting better.
No.
But for a guy his age, he's still putting up decent numbers. You want that in your lineup.
Plus, the other thing, too, is it does draw a fan base, too. Think of how many OG Brewer fans are still.
Forget that, man. Look at what the Phillies did by signing Bryce Harper last year. Did it work? No, but they sold tickets. They sold tickets big time.
Oh, yeah.
That was worth it for them. I bet you they made more money than they've even paid that guy off of their season tickets. That's what I don't understand is I get that you're pushed up against the salary cap, but nobody's coming to see a team with nobody on it. And are people going to keep coming to see Bryce Harper in 3 years, in 4 years? I don't know the answer to that question, but I tell you they did last year, and they probably will this year too. Why aren't teams going out and getting these guys? Because it's coming right back around and filling their pockets. They're selling more tickets. The White Sox, from being connected to people, from being connected to Bryce Harper last year, sold more tickets. They sold more season tickets because they're connected to big names. They didn't get anybody, but they were just connected, and they got there.
Yeah, they were in talks with Machado as well.
Machado, that's what it was. Yep. It wasn't Harper. It was Machado. And that's another thing that bugs me. Not to say that Machado didn't want to play in Chicago. But I know that Zach Wheeler definitely didn't want to play in Chicago because he got offered more money to play for the White Sox. Now, that would have been awesome. I don't care that he went to the Phillies. Who gives a rip? I don't think... I like the Phillies and I don't like the Phillies. I like Rhys Hoskins. I like Franco. I hate Bryce Harper. And their pitching staff is whatever, even with Wheeler.
I mean, Aaron Nola.
I mean, yeah.
Nola, McCutcheon. I still love McCutcheon.
Oh yeah, Kutch is over there now.
Was that like a 2-year deal that they signed him to?
I don't know. He was with the Yankees there for a little bit, and then he hopped on over to Philly.
Yeah, he got traded to the Yanks, and then he signed with Philly.
I think it is a 2-year deal. That's pretty irrelevant. I mean, he's getting up there. There's probably something in there, and I guess I shouldn't just say this, but there's probably something in their minor leagues or something they could attain in the minor leagues that could do about what McCutcheon does nowadays or close to for less money. McCutcheon's great because I think everybody will agree watching him play for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It was awesome.
Yep.
When they had that halfway decent team.
Yeah, when they had, Kutch, Starling Marte, and Gregory Polanco in their outfield.
And
Garrett Cole.
That's a hell of an outfield.
But Josh Bell. I mean, they had...
Well, I guess Cole wasn't as good. Cole was just like mediocre with the Pirates.
Josh Harrison.
I agree. And then where did he come out of absolute nowhere? Josh Harrison, yes, absolutely. Man, that's such a great lineup that you can actually remember. And it's so misfortunate that franchise is just in ruins now with no hope.
They just signed Ben Cherington as their GM, who was the GM for the Red Sox back when they signed Hanley and Pablo. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Those great deals that he gave out to
Hanley Ramirez.
That Pablo Sandoval deal has got to be one of the worst signings in MLB history.
Well,
Chris Davis.
Yeah, that's definitely up
there. the Orioles signing Chris Davis.
I was gonna say, man, that was ugly this year.
Oh, 2 years.
Well, this year he had the streak. It was connected. It was connected because he had the streak from last year going into this year.
Yep.
Oh, that's sad. But
when was this last year? Like 2015?
I think so.
How is a GM supposed to know? Like Pablo Sandoval, when he went into and maybe I'm wrong because I don't remember, this was a while ago. He was coming off of World Series heroics. I mean, being a clutch player. But why not pay him?
But that's the thing, is he was always a mediocre player until it came playoff time.
Well, you have to think if the Red Sox are going to make it in, your time to shine. This is when we need you. Like, suck all year long. I don't give a rip. But when we're here, this is why we pay you.
They didn't have their young core up then. This was...
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Like, they weren't the team that they are now. So
no, absolutely not.
They were trying to get into the playoffs. So when you're signing that type of deal to a guy who's good in the playoffs, you got to still get to the playoffs.
I guess, yeah. But hey, look, now it's water under the fridge.
Water under the fridge.
And they got a hot little number named Rafi Devers sitting at the hot corner. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Until you guys blow up your team and don't make the playoffs for the next 10 years. All right. And next up.
Dark days ahead for the Sox.
Why can't the Sox win? Like, you get Chris Sale, you get David Price.
It's really unfortunate with
you have the best hitting group in that I can even think of as top to bottom. Benintendi. Devers is no slouch. Jackie Bradley Jr. is serviceable. Mookie Betts.
He's serviceable in the field. He is not a serviceable hitter. He is a subpar hitter with...
Does he bat sub 250?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Okay.
There's times that he can be under like 200 for a couple months.
Oh, wow. Okay. Scratch that.
Yeah. Bradley
But Mookie Betts is a MVP candidate just about every year.
Yep.
Or potential to be.
Well, and Bogarts, and now you have Michael Chavis.
And I always forget about Bogarts. Like, he's really fantastic. There's just so much potential there. How do we not translate that to victories because
A very
you're pitching,
overpriced pitching rotation that is very
and
prone
you
to
got to
injury.
beat the pants off everybody if you want to win, and that's just you just can't do that in
I
today's
was really
MLB.
confused about the Andrew Kashner signing from
They
the
didn't sign him. They traded for him.
right. Just
Yeah,
Why?
instead of money, let's
Why?
give up assets.
Why?
Great,
Yeah, why?
great trade.
they knew they weren't going to catch the Yankees.
No.
They knew he wasn't going to be a long-term asset to their team.
Forget catching the Yankees. How about we make the wild card? How about we beat the Rays?
So
you
the
know,
first
and then that wasn't going to happen either. You know what I mean?
first-
Like, but step cart before horse moment. The Rays make something out of nothing, like the Oakland Athletics do, and then they trade it all off, and then they get rid of everything.
What you need to understand with the Red Sox the past couple of years is that they've had, in my opinion, one of the worst GMs that you can have in the MLB. I think Dave Dombrowski is cancer to any team that he touches because he completely guts the entire system for one championship. And
I mean, I think as lifelong Twins fans, we could all sit here and agree. And by all, I mean me and you. Gut it and let's get it. Like,
Yep.
we've won. I mean, that's the only thing we've ever done. But I mean, in any sport, I think if you told any team that's been out of it, like, let's just go, the Cleveland Browns are the one of like the most miserable teams you ever seen, and I think they'd be like, yeah, do whatever you got to do. Bring us a championship. Vikings never won a championship. Do what you got to do. Kill them. Do who cares? I don't care. We've been in 60 years of championship poverty. Gut it. Let's win.
But this is the Red Sox where they've won before last year. They've won 3 championships in the past 12 years.
Yeah, and then what happened before that?
Well, 86 years without a
Oh, yeah.
title.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But remember how they got that title? They traded away their star player, one of the greatest legends of Red Sox history, Nomar. They traded him away in 2004. Nomar.
Garcia Parra.
Nomar. Gotta love Nomar. But yeah, in 2004, they traded Nomar away to get Orlando Cabrera and Doug Mankiewicz. And
Oh, Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie Mankiewicz.
I love
Yikes.
that because the Red Sox were playing the Twins at the time during that trade at the Metrodome, and Mankiewicz, all he had to do was just walk across the field to the other dugout.
I didn't like Doug Mankiewicz. He was never one of my favorites growing up. But the real reason you won that World Series, I believe it was your first one, was Schilling just
Schilling.
taking names. Oh,
God, the bloody sock
I'll
is going to
never
go down
forget
in
it.
history.
I don't care. I don't care what they say. People still say that's fake. Oh yeah, that's fake. Uh-huh. Sure. Uh-huh. Cheer me on when I say it wasn't fake. That was so real. That was unbelievable. They showed pictures of what his ankle actually looked like.
Yeah, they're showing it
That
mid-game.
was unbelievable. Yeah, but without the sock on, you can see
Oh,
pictures
yeah.
of it. It's hideous. I wouldn't even be walking.
I've seen a picture of the actual leg.
I wouldn't
And
even be walking without crutches.
That guy is a war hero.
Oh, absolutely. I know he's gotten trashed, and I know that people have linked him to steroids and all this other stuff. Kurt Schilling is an American treasure for what he did in Arizona and in Boston.
Yep. Dude, that.
Can you imagine Randy Johnson into Kurt Schilling? Come on.
Well, I mean,
I want that. That's what I want.
honestly, in that ALCS, it wasn't even Schilling that got us there. That was 100% all Poppy. Are you kidding me?
Oh, Big Poppy.
Game 3 and 4.
Don't mention his name in front of a Twins fan.
Walk-off home run in Game 3. Walk-off single in Game 4. Game 4 was I think
we're happy for you.
Inning number 14.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That wah is for all
That's
those
for the
Yankee
Twins.
fans.
No.
in
Oh, that's for the
2000.
Twins.
that's for the
We had him.
so
We had him and we gave him away.
see, but Jack and I had that conversation. What was it, yesterday, day
Couple
before?
days ago, yeah.
about Poppy. As a Twins fan, looking at David Ortiz, he's not somebody that you can be very sad you could be sad about it. You can't be mad. You can't be mad that we gave him up when we did, because at the time
He was trash.
he was trash.
He was total trash.
He was not. He was not good, man. He did not.
I remember watching him. I remember watching him in my grandpa's basement. I'll never forget it. He turns to me, and may he rest in peace, and said, "Man, this guy sucks." It was like, what is this guy doing in the major leagues? And I was just like, whatever year old me, I was not very old. I was like, yeah, he does suck. Yeah, he's pretty terrible. But man, it hurts. It just hurts. But when you go back through the annals of history and see all the talent that like the Miami Marlins have traded away and all these other teams, and you're just like, you know what? It's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad.
Remember the Marlins outfield a couple years ago? Yelly,
Stanton,
and Ozuna.
Yeah.
That outfield.
And Jose Fernandez on the mound. May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man. That is just so tragic.
I remember being so amped on him, man. He was just fantastic. He just kept getting better and better. And you're like, where's this guy going to end? The potential is unbelievable.
At the time, he was probably my favorite player in major leagues. He was so animated. He was so energetic. Everything he did, you could tell it was just all for the love of the game.
Yeah, he was everything you wanted in a baseball player. He was everything you wanted to watch.
He was so much fun to watch. He had put up the great numbers. He didn't care if it was just the run-of-the-mill game. If it's an interleague play, didn't matter. He was going to give it his all every single time, and I loved it.
And then, I mean, lest we forget, the Marlins, they won a World Series, and they did it with Miguel Cabrera. And, like, nobody remembers that. It was like,
they won
what?
2 World Series that nobody remembers.
Like, what? Well, I remember because I was a very large Cubs fan. Sammy Sosa, Moises Alou, Kenny Lofton. I mean, I was a big Sammy Sosa fan. Right there. There's the Rook. Peep the Rook. And, yeah, sure, he's a vampire now. Whatever. Who cares?
Was that before or after he changed his race?
But my God, watching that guy go home tonight, watch him hit a home run, and you'll just crap your pants.
His little leap.
His side leap.
Does that mean I should watch the video while on the toilet?
Absolutely.
Just to avoid any sort of complication.
Absolutely, I would. But the power, his windup, he like almost squatted down and he just exploded with so much raw power and steroids, like, and corked bats, and it was just But they beat us that year, and I remember watching it, and it just hurt me so bad. But Josh Beckett, and then the guy, Dante Willis, the guy with Dontrell
Willis,
with the really high leg kick.
Yep, Dontrell.
I loved him, even though he
He
I don't
went
remember.
to the Tigers with Miguel Cabrera.
Really?
Yep.
See, I don't remember that. My baseball fandom goes in and out. But, like when I was young, I wasn't like up on trades or other teams. I was a Cubs and a Twins fan. And I knew both of the teams. I obviously go to Twins games and watch Cubs on WGN.
The old, 2007 Minnesota Twins.
See, I liked them before that. That was Morneau, Mauer.
Yeah. That was Johan Santana.
Johan.
Francisco Liriano.
That was Cuddy. That was...
I hated Kadire. I hated Punto.
What?
I hated him. I thought he was no good.
Kadire.
I hated Punto, too, which is a hot take around here.
Yeah, actually, that one kind of... Yeah. Oh, I'm going to skip over the
Hate.
Punto thing for a second. I need to go back to the Kadire one.
Hated him.
What? For what reason? Based
It was
on
a long
ability?
time ago. I have no idea. I just remember
know I hated
hating
him.
him. Absolutely. Not a fan.
He had a literal cannon for an arm. He had a plus glove. He had a slightly above average bat and was just one
Barely
of the
above
nicest
average.
guys around.
Oh, don't get me started.
Please.
There's plenty of nice guys out there. I want a baseball player.
I'm just gonna.
We want a pitcher, not a belly itcher.
Just gonna say we got off real good with the topics.
We might be a little bit like this way. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah,
I was thinking this, but man, I love reminiscing.
So
that's what baseball's about. Reminiscing. That's what it's about.
So you said we were talking about Sammy Sosa, talking about the cork bat and steroids.
Allegedly. Just
So
kidding.
let's get
he was
something
definitely on steroids.
Let's get to something that happened recently with cheating in the Astros. What do you guys think of that whole situation? What do you think should come of it? And do you believe that it went further than just their camera feed in center field?
That's a great topic. I don't know what you mean if it went further. They proved that they were beating on empty trash cans 1 time for curveball, 2 times for off speed. They have them they have them so bad.
No.
But do I care? I don't know. I've been trying to unpack this myself because it's all the rage and all the topics. I just honestly don't know if I care. Because is it cheating? Yes, it is. Do I care about it? No, I don't. Because maybe my little tiny brain doesn't fathom how did you play baseball, Jack?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We've all played baseball. If you banged and we're never professionals, but if you banged a trash can 1 or 2 times before the pitch came, here's what I would have been able to do with that information. Oh, that's a fast strike 1. You know what I mean? Sure, in the professional level, it's cheating because they can do different things. But I don't know if I really just even care. What do I think should come of it? Nothing. Should they stop it? Yes. Will they? Probably not. I don't know. There's been so many people linked to that fiasco too. Mike Fires came forward, and all these people.
Alex Cora is going to be in some serious trouble as well.
See, but that's the thing.
But what do you do? You're not going to take away their World Series. You're just not going to do that.
I think they should and they can.
They're not going to do that.
They're not going to
There's
do
no
it.
way.
But
that's so controversial.
There's two people that have been linked that are no longer on the Astros, and that's Cora and Beltran. And so if they do come down on a punishment and they have found Cora and Beltran linked to this, perpetrating or developing the system, what do? You can't just punish the Red Sox and the Mets for something that they did with another team. That's where it gets really shady. And Beltran was a player at the time too, so the MLB Players Association is going to defend him to the fucking core before he gets any sort of suspension or ban. And the MLB just can't come down with a suspension on Cora or a ban on Cora because he's not with the Astros anymore. So why should the Red Sox or the Mets have to deal with a penalty for something that they did with another team?
I mean, it's so hard. Because in my honest opinion, what should you do? The answer is nothing. But then I don't want it to keep
nothing.
Then it will keep happening.
It'll keep happening, and
I understand that.
I think they should come down hard on this. And I think
so you want people to get clipped.
I want ownership to get clipped. I think that.
Do you think that ownership would have any idea this is going on?
Oh, I guarantee you.
I guarantee, yeah.
That
I would 100% disagree. If I'm sitting up in my ivory tower and my little GM, who, whatever, it was hey, we got this great idea. We're gonna start stealing. I'd be like, that's enough. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not gonna do it, I don't want to know about it. And that's that. Nobody would willingly listen and be a part of cheating. They might not say don't do it, but there's no way that these owners, for one, would even most of them are multi-millionaires, some billionaires.
Jim Crane I'm pretty sure Jim Crane's a multi-billionaire.
Yeah. And most of it's not from baseball. They're doing other things. Why would I want to take a meeting on how can we cheat and win? That sounds like you're asking for trouble, because you then get rid of your plausible deniability, and then you're looking at fines. They could take away your franchise from you, I'm pretty sure.
They can't take it away from you. I think you would have to sell it. So they would still end up
in layman's terms, same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
So
I think that right there is part of the issue, though. It's not so much that we're saying that the ownership deliberately told management that, yeah, go ahead, do that. I think it's more they approached them and said, "Do what you need to win." And I think that is, something that's been available to teams for a long time. Would have been the helping with the cameras, with the TVs in the dugout and everything, that they can see footage live and be able to watch the signs. So I think that's been available to teams for a long time, but someone's been finally caught doing it in such a high stakes scenario,
and so egregiously.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows.
You can go to Reddit on the baseball subreddit. There was a mega thread where people would just keep on posting different games at different times.
Oh yeah, once the floodgates are open, people find everything.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between this? And I know the difference. The difference is it's way more encompassing. But what's the difference between somebody sitting on second base and stealing signs? That's not illegal. So why is it illegal for me to obviously do way more? But that's like saying if I shoot somebody, and once again, there is back and forth on this. But if I break a law, as long as I'm not doing this and I'm doing this, it's okay. If you make this illegal, you got to say there's no, if he's putting his hand on his hip or whatever they're doing at second base, well, that's illegal too. Because what's the difference? You're still stealing signs at the end of the day.
So they've come out and said this. They said stealing signs is okay. You just cannot do it electronically. Stealing signs has always been a part of the game. They've considered that not cheating. They've considered it gamesmanship.
I mean, you're literally getting into, and this is going to be debated just like steroids.
That's a very defined line that you can go off of, is as long as you're not stealing signs without the use of electronics.
But welcome to the 21st century.
But that's the thing, is that
thing.
they've come out and said that you cannot do this with the help of electronics.
I think you're splitting hairs once you start to get into, and I'm just playing devil's advocate because I don't give a rip. I honestly don't care. It didn't affect my baseball watching ability.
Definitely did for me.
And
2017 ALDS Red Sox Astros.
But it doesn't mean they're gonna win. Like, look at this year. Astros lost. So who cares?
No, but
and if it's
lost
okay
this year, but the year that they were caught doing it is the year that they won the championship.
But if they make it okay now, then everybody starts doing it. That's a level playing field. That sounds fair. Cool.
So
I don't want that. But then it's fair, and everybody starts stealing everybody's signs, and then they're going to get even more in depth in trying to guard their signs and changing signs every inning and doing more and more crazy stuff, and it's just going to be a pony show. It's not going to have any meaning. Because you take away the reason to steal signs. Because if I'm doing it, it's no advantage if you're doing it right back to me.
You guys
know what I mean? We're on the
Trevor
same playing
Williams
field.
is the pitcher for Pirates.
I do not.
He made a great tweet about this whole situation. I'm going to try to find it because I don't want to butcher the tweet, but it was so funny. It was along the lines of no more signs in baseball. You just pitcher throws what he wants, catcher's expecting something else, and the fans are expecting something else.
Why not? Back to the good old days when Koufax was throwing. Amen, brother. What do you think, Alex? What do you think a punishment should be?
Go.
Oh, here, let's go.
Best way to combat
back to Jack.
Best way to combat sign stealing is to not give signs ever. It'll speed up the game. Everybody is guessing. Fans think it'll be a changeup. Catcher wants a heater. I want a slider. Now what?
Exactly.
That would actually make the game more fun to watch, in my opinion.
Oh, that's gonna get some people hurt. There's gonna be some lawsuits there.
But what do you think is a suitable punishment? Do you think there should be a punishment?
I think there should be.
They're still gonna do it.
Not if you come down hard enough.
They're not gonna, though. They're not taking the World Series, and they're not making anybody sell a franchise. And whatever they do beyond that, people are probably going to get fired. Who cares? They're gone now, and we're still here. Let's keep doing it. And then the next guy we hire will be our fall guy for that. And it's just going to keep on going. It's not going to stop.
Well,
if it's
that's-
proven to work, they
That's-
will do it.
That's also assuming that it's.
That's
coming
like
from
saying
the top.
because you can go to jail like at a federal level for counting cards, that stopped people counting cards. And the same with like doing meth. Beyond all its super bad reasons to do meth, people still do meth. If there is a proven end of the rainbow that we get out positive that we get out of this, they're going to do it. And it doesn't matter what the cost is. And even if they did revoke the championship, who cares? That was an old championship. It wasn't our championship. Let's go win one for ourselves. Let's do this. But not get caught this time. Let's do it smarter.
So you're telling me that, say the MLB comes down hard, they issue
How hard? Give me exact how
AJ
you think this would work.
AJ Hinch, what's the GM's name? I don't remember.
Which one?
Lunhow, I think it is.
For the Astros?
Yeah. Lifetime bans. So you issue lifetime bans to some of the essential personnel that have knowledge or have been a part of this system.
Aiding and abetting.
Yeah. Do you think that other teams, other personnel will say, hey, let's think about cheating, and then they look back and see, oh, wait, these guys got banned. Maybe, oh, yeah, let's still do it.
There's no way they're going to be handing out lifetime bans for this.
Well,
If
are you
they
kidding me?
did-
They've issued out lifetime bans before.
Yeah, to Pete Rose, which is a bunch of baloney. Poor Pete.
Well, I also think this is a
HOF in my heart.
much more legitimate reason to give out a
Yeah.
lifetime ban for something like this than it would have been for gambling.
As a manager, too.
Right.
I'm pretty sure there's a lifetime
don't get me
ban
started on that.
for GM a couple of years ago. I'm looking
But-
it up right now.
Once again, if you're lifetime banning people, it's not like you're taking away, like, literally, Pete Rose is robbed of being in the Hall of Fame. A huge honor for somebody of his stature that he
But he
definitely deserves. These guys ain't making it to no baseball Hall of Fame. They ended up in Cooperstown. But if you got a World Series ring, bucket
That
list.
adds to that
Papa,
resume.
And
It
then
adds to the Cooperstown resume. You got a ring? That's a check mark.
Chris Correa, former St. Louis Cardinals scouting director, was permanently banned January 30th, 2017 for his role in hacking the Houston Astros scouting database to provide the Cardinals with competitive edge in scouting.
Oh,
So-
they banned him for that.
So a lifetime ban
Okay.
for trying to cheat in scouting. That is not a direct result of
No,
your
I didn't know that. I didn't know the end game of. I knew about that debacle. Once again, I don't care.
John.
I just want to
Coppolella.
watch baseball. If you're on steroids, who cares? If you're spitting on the ball, who cares? Just play baseball. Like, I don't care. I just want to watch you play baseball. Like, I'm pretty simple when it comes to that kind of stuff. Does steroids ruin the game? That's a whole separate topic. That's a whole different episode. Don't say anything. Yes, no, it doesn't matter. But that doesn't take anything away from me knowing that, like, this year Big Mike got caught. Not steroids, but a masking agent, which he's a large man. So it
Which he
literally
did.
could have been legitimate.
Yeah, he did come out and say that.
He got a reduced sentence.
Right.
60 days.
Yep. He
But
said-
did it ruin it for me after I found out that, because I watched a lot of his starts, because he was pitching really well at the end of the season. Did it ruin it for me in hindsight? No. I still enjoyed watching him throw, and if he was better or worse because of it, I don't care. I watch baseball. I don't bet on it. And I talk about it. But there's nothing in it for me if a guy has a cork bat, a bunch of steroids in him, whatever. But forget about that, because that's a whole nother episode. I want to get back to free agency because that's where we actually took off from. But that was a really great point because we're starting to get out of the territory of where that is relevant now with all the winter meetings, everything going up. So that was actually a really great point to bring up. But let's get back into free agency. Let's keep talking about that. I don't know where we want to jump off from. What were some other moves you guys liked, didn't like? I mean, let's actually talk about where we think the guys who are left are going to end up. Like Ryu and
Castellanos, Ozuna,
Dallas Keuchel, Josh Donaldson.
I don't think Donaldson's going to the Twins.
He's going to the Nats. There's been so many guys that are just staying within their divisions that they played for last year. I think that he's going to stay in the NL East and go to the Nationals.
Let's play it this way. If you were Josh Donaldson, where would you go? And I'll start. I would stay right where I am with the Atlanta Braves. If they are anywhere near what I am going to get as a fair market value, if I was getting pinched and they're going to give me way less money, obviously not. But let's say fair is fair. You can go anywhere that makes sense. You know, obviously I'm not going to go play for the Angels because we got Rendon in my position, blah, blah, blah. But let's play that game. I would stay with the Atlanta Braves.
So what if if you're Josh Donaldson, what if the Atlanta Braves offer you another 1 or 2 year contract, and then another team comes along with a 3 or 4 year contract at the same?
I'm saying all's fair because if I'm Josh Donaldson, I'm taking longer because I'm running out of time.
Yeah.
So to make everything equal to where we're just strictly breaking it down to bare bones, we're talking about best fit for him. Because you're 100% right. In 2 years, Josh Donaldson's not going to be getting paid what Josh Donaldson's going to be getting paid now.
Yeah.
So obviously, a 3 or 4 year deal is what he's looking to get. So let's just play it like that. But I'm staying in Atlanta. Atlanta has so much young talent in Soroka and Albies and Acuna and Freddie Freeman's still very young.
Max Fried.
There is so much talent there. I want to ride that wave.
Austin Riley.
They got great uniforms. And let's not forget.
There's the selling point is the unis.
Honestly, that's a big selling point for me. I want to look good because then I'd play good.
I was just gonna say, let's reiterate: cosmetics are a large a large part of what Kevin's following is into the MLB. It's strictly
It is 100%. I ain't gonna watch teams with a crap. Nobody watches the Rays because of their uniforms, and you know that's true.
I don't think it's their uniforms. I think it's their ballpark, which is absolute garbage.
That's also true.
Tropicana is
the whole reason that Kevin really enjoys the Yankees. He just gets mesmerized by the pinstripes.
And when
Same
they wear
like the
black,
Twins do.
when they wear black, oh my gosh. Oof. Yes.
Yikes.
Jack, go ahead. You're Josh Donaldson. You got a fair shake anywhere. Where are you going? Where are you going to win? Because you want to win.
Stay with the Braves.
That's the only way. I mean, I understand why the Nationals is a good move, replacing Rendon, but
that's the thing is I think that the Nationals are in a more desperate situation to try to fill that gap that they're going to be willing to give him the extra couple of years on his contract.
If you're the Twins, are you giving Josh Donaldson the 4th year?
No.
I would. I definitely would.
I think if you're the Twins, I don't think you offer him anything because they don't need another bat. That what they need is pitching.
We could talk about Josh Donaldson going to the Twins as soon as somebody gets signed or a trade gets made to help out that starting rotation.
What are the Twins? Okay, first answer me, and then we'll talk Twins. Where are you going? Are you staying Braves too? Are you being just that vanilla?
Oh, with
Josh Donaldson. Yeah, let's get that off the table and then let's move.
I mean, if we're going from the point of view of Donaldson and if you're imagining his goal is strictly to win and not to get your longest contract, then you stay in Atlanta. But if your goal is to get paid and your goal is to get, milk this cow as much as you can, then yeah, maybe the Nats or even potentially say the Mets would be a decent fit.
The Mets are they mesmerized me this year with that Stroman bit. But let's go.
Who saw that one coming?
Nobody.
Like
Absolutely
I was
nobody.
mesmerized that they actually made that trade, and then even more so that it worked out even better than I thought it would.
Well, look, they were like literally talks are coming down. Like Buxton could be going for Syndergaard. DeGrom could be on his way out. Oh no, it's we signed Stroman. What? And got rid of nothing. Oh my gosh, that hoodwinked me. I've never been that hoodwinked. I've never seen a team go so fast from sellers to buyers like that. And it's not like they didn't already have a good bullpen. Why wouldn't you get a bat in there or something? Like they already had Wheeler and Matz.
They got themselves a Pete Alonso in their lineup. That's what they got. Go Polar Bear.
That's it though. That's
a lot.
Conforto
I mean,
has some
yeah,
upside
Conforto's
power.
got a lot of-
Nimmo has the potential.
Ooh.
you're naming like C+ players. Like I don't even speak those words. Like
That's
Pete
also-
Alonso is A+, A grade, fantastic.
What about Jeff McNeil?
I mean, I like McNeil. I think he's got potential, but they don't need pitching. I mean, that can we all agree on that? They need bats, like to compete. They had even with losing Wheeler, and if they never signed Stroman, they have a lot more than most teams in the pitching department. But I mean, I'm not an elite Mets baseball bullpen mind, but I don't think it's that great. They could use that. They
But
could
if you-
use so many different things, and then they sign Marcus Stroman. What?
I think that what they're doing is they're looking at the Nationals and what they have for rotation. They're trying to compete with that. You have the DeGrom and you have the Syndergaard. You have Wheeler and Matz, who are I would consider above average pitchers.
Yeah.
But then you have on the Nationals, you have Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin. Like those are three well above average pitchers.
But
2 ace and an A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's so hard because I see what you're saying, but they're so very different. And where you have the young talent of DeGrom.
DeGrom's not that young.
I know. I really meant Syndergaard. But comparatively to the Nationals, they're all older. You know,
Strasburg is, I think, the same age as DeGrom. And then Scherzer and Corbin are older than Strasburg. I think.
Scherzer's like what?
37, I think?
Yeah, he's like
Maybe
way
not
up
that
there,
old,
like
but
getting
yeah,
closer to
he's-
40.
I think Scherzer's like 35 or 36.
Something like that.
I thought he's at least 36. There's no way he's 35. Watch 35. Well, let's talk Twins because we only got about, call it 10 minutes left. Let's talk Twinkie Town because why not? And Max Scherzer, oh my God, he's 35.
We're going to give that one a hell yeah, folks.
I don't know why. I just always think he's way older. And man, his profile picture for the MLB is hideous. But damn, he can pitch. But let's
Sounds like
talk.
eye shaming.
Them those.
Let's talk Twins. Rumor has it that Eddie Rosario is going to be gone, and the primary suspect of who is taking him is the Miami Marlins, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I'm fine with that. I don't like Eddie Rosario. He is way too hot and cold. I think this will be a great opportunity for Kirilloff to come up, and we can see what he can do. But I mean, when we're talking about Josh Donaldson, that would require so much, for lack of a better word, finagling.
Also, I don't believe it's Eddie Rosario. Jake Cave is the one that just got moved to Miami.
No, there's a lot of talks surrounding Rosario.
Yeah,
Really? I haven't heard those. I know.
Did Cave actually get moved?
Cave just got moved, yeah.
For who? For what? Oh my
to
God.
Miami for one of their pitching prospects, I believe.
Oh, great. I mean, Jake Cave is...
Miami does have a lot of young
and they do
pitching
give up
prospects,
good
though.
ones, too.
They
oh,
do.
man, Jake Cave, you take a terrible picture, too.
I was never very high on Cave, to be honest. Last year he did all right. You know, he hit like a 258, something like that. And I believe the pitcher
It's 258 dead on.
I believe the pitcher we got for him had an ERA somewhere around 5 last year. So you'll give the plus to Jake Cave on that side of the deal. But I think it works well for both teams. Both teams need what the other has.
I
It's
don't
just kind of
see
an
any
advantage.
Jake Cave trades.
What?
It says 4 days ago they discussed a trade involving Jake Cave. I see nothing that was
really?
finalized.
Oh, I thought that was a finalized thing.
No.
That's on me.
Haven't the I think it was the Diamondbacks have been in talks for Rosario, I think.
I've just heard that it was the Miami Marlins, which, I mean, but like I said, Rosario, I just am not. He's too hot and cold. He's not terrible, but he's not a good glove. He batted .276 by all accounts. That's not bad.
That's good. Like, I'll take
Only-
276 out of every member of my lineup and be ecstatic.
I have higher hopes than you do for my lineups, but how he does it is so hot and cold. I mean, he goes through like a month period where it's just like, oh my God, like you are dismal. He swings at this guy could bat 300 in the MLB. I strongly believe that every single year, but he won't lay off crazy pitches. He swings at absolute trash. And that's what takes him from being a very high potential player.
I want to piggyback off what you just said there, that he swings at trash. That was just a theme with the Twins last year. As many home runs as they hit and as great as their offense was, their plate management and their plate discipline was just not what it needed to be. And that was at no other time more evident than it was in the series against the Yankees and in the ALDS.
I mean,
So the problem with trading Rosario, too, is you leave your outfield dry, honestly, because do you trust Max Kepler?
absolutely.
Yes.
Max
do,
Kepler
yes.
is absolutely the real deal.
I
The
don't-
he can play
man. The
he can
strudel.
play
I love
center
it.
if need
love him.
to. I do like Buxton way better at center, obviously, but he can play center. Not super well, but at a corner outfield position, absolutely. Now Kirilloff is the one who would be replacing him. He is a MLB top 100 prospect, top 10 even.
I think it was top 15, but yeah.
Is it top 15? Yeah, I mean, but I want to see him. I don't care about A. Rosario. And I know, like, oh, he bats 276. 22 walks this year.
Oh, Jesus.
That's it.
Oh,
His
boy.
on base just isn't where it needs to be. Over 100 RBIs. Like, but that was with a huge, I mean, last year it was 77 RBIs, and he hit a tick above average. You know, he hit 288 last year. 2018. I just am not a huge fan. I hate his glove in the outfield. He is such a liability. And I don't know if Kirilloff's any better, but I really don't care.
The numbers say he is.
I want to try anybody else right now.
But again, everything works different on paper than it does when you actually bring it to the field, to the show. It's just, it's always going to be different. There's always variables that, paper doesn't take into effect playing on a big stage.
Playing against major league pitchers.
Yeah.
Like,
Playing in front of a crowd of
huge crowd. Going from just
10,000 to
tiny
30.
people.
traveling constantly.
Well, they're used to that in the minors.
That's fair.
And they're probably used to traveling in
Worse
in
conditions.
worse conditions. Yeah,
But
they
in the
probably-
minors, they don't have to go cross country all the time like they do in the majors. They have a tighter knit, area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What I would, but let's get back to the infield. They got rid of Castro. They got some no-namer average hitting catcher, and I mean average for a catcher.
yeah, who was that? That was
He used to play for the Diamondbacks, but he's a backup's backup. He bats 220. He's just, I would much rather see us have gotten like a Yasmani Grandal or somebody in the
Or-
plus catcher
or a
and then move
TBA.
Mitch Garver to first.
Travis D'Arnaud.
Because Mitch Garver had a
He can
huge
great.
season this year. Loved every minute of it.
Big Garver fan.
And
Big
what would
Garver
he
guy.
have done if he had the at-bats?
Yeah.
What would he have done if he had been there the whole time instead of being a catcher? We don't want a Joe Mauer syndrome here where, oh, yeah, he was good, but then he wasn't. Like, I don't want him ending up having to go to first base and just being just pedantic, just mediocre. He's got so much potential. His bat came alive this year. Same with Kepler. Kepler almost hit 40 home runs, was 37 or 9. Like,
I'm gonna
who's
say
seen
Kepler
that
was
coming?
A fluke. I'm calling it. I think Kepler's a fluke.
It's over there. You can just there it is. There you go.
I 100% disagree with you. And
I think
we've
he'll
watched his rise. He hit, 22 last year? If you think Kepler's a fluke, then Mitch Garver is also a fluke, and it's because of the ball. And if you want to get into talks about the damn ball, we can do that next time because we're out of time today. So just hold on to that thought. We're out of here. This has been the Baseball Podcast. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We love you and good night.